Hi everyone, Chad Burton here with Modern Law Practice today talking about the maybe timeless and never-ending topic of cloud-based document storage for law firms. Now, in particular today what we're talking about is Google Drive versus Box. This came up during a conversation on the Maximum Lawyer Facebook group, and I was asked why I tend to favor Box versus Google Drive for law firms. Now, before I get into this, one, I want to love Google Drive. I've been at Google Workspace and all the different iterations of its name for over a decade and have tried to use it because it's baked in to the platform. So it's free document storage. It just doesn't have the firepower for businesses, I don't think, especially those that are trying to grow and have extensive security needs. And so when I hit on 6 quick reasons why I am a fan of Box and why I think it will serve law firms better regardless of size. So one, when Box was first built in 2005 or released in 2005, it's always been a business first, enterprise first platform. Google Drive, Dropbox, others were focused on cloud-based solutions, focused on consumers first, but out of the gate, Box has been business first. That matters because when we get into topics like security and different features that are relevant to business, they've just nailed it out of the park. So for example, it's HIPAA compliant, ISO, blah, blah, blah. There's so many of them. And every time I've had a client implement Box, when we've been doing the implementation, different types of security protocols will come up, whether it's because they represent financial institutions or have certain type of security protocols they need to meet. It always does that. I don't think the others are unsecure, but Box is just built for business first. The other thing is with Google Drive, one of my biggest hang-ups on it is sharing documents externally. I love to share content via a link versus an attachment to emails. You can track it better. It's just easier, especially on mobile. But with Google, Google wants you to share the content with other Google users. And this it causes problems, especially when you are interacting with Office 365 or Microsoft 365 users. When I do this, oftentimes I'm in a business-to-business context, I end up sharing documents out of Google Drive when I've had to do that to somebody's Gmail account, not their business account, but their Gmail account, and then they're taking it and downloading it and putting it somewhere else. Box allows you to share with everyone. It is not just focused on Google versus Microsoft users. It caters to all of them. And so when you're sharing it and collaborating with people, it really doesn't matter what underlying technology they're using, just as long as they have access to the information that you're sharing, which is super easy. The other features that I like about Box, both obviously Google Drive and Box are cloud-based solutions. Box has a feature which I think lawyers really like. I've always liked it, is that you can open documents out of Box on the cloud, on the browser, into Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, into the native apps on your computer. You can work within it, and then every time you save it, it saves it back up to the cloud with Box. It's kind of like you're working on a server, except you're working on Box. It's a feature, it's been known as Box Edit. I think they recently changed it, but that's super helpful, especially when you're collaborating with folks. So if you take out the document, people can see that you're working on it, and it's easy for collaboration. Box also has something called Box Drive, where you can map your folder structure to your computer, whether it's a Mac or a PC, and you're opening up the documents. It looks like you're just working locally on your computer, but it is actually pulling the documents down from the cloud. But for those users who struggle with the idea of working out of a browser, whether it's Google Drive or whatever, they can work directly from their computer, which I think is super helpful. Next, and this could be, I'm going to hit this real quick because it could be its own book and tutorial of content, but Box has a feature called metadata. So think about anything that you think about in your firm where you are. I have I'm looking for the shared parenting plan that had X, Y, and Z provisions. You can't remember the client, you can't remember the details of it, and somebody's going out to search for it, and it takes forever. You can put metadata tags on documents within Box so that you can effectively create your own document repository, which will be super helpful for purposes of any size firm where you don't have to buy overly expensive technology to make that happen. You can put metadata tags in any way, shape, or form that you want on it. So that's real helpful. But again, and then you can search for those once you put them on. Another Box feature is called Box Relay. It's relatively new, where you can do a lot of automation in Box. Google Drive, Box, Dropbox, all of them have third-party integrations like Zapier, which are super helpful, but Box has automations built within it. So with Relay, you can build something, and doing this with family law firms, which I think is going to be really helpful for helping onboard clients. You can send your new client a link where they can upload their documents for their new case. They can answer questions related to those documents on the form. This is all built within Box. And then those documents are uploaded to a certain file. And then you can do things like, once that file folder is created, you can automatically create all your folder structures that you like within your cases. You can assign tasks to, let's say, a paralegal to organize the information, an attorney to take X, Y, and Z action. And those are all automated just by having the client upload documents into Box. That's something that Google Drive definitely doesn't have. Could you build it out with Zapier? Possibly, but this is all built within where you're just clicking buttons. And the last thing I just want to mention is that while all the cloud-based solutions do have integrations, Box touts about 1,400 integrations. So what I like about that and always find is that when you move to something like Box that has that feature set and the amount of integrations, it always is going to work with what you already have. So it's really easy to tie in your existing solutions so that you can easily link your existing technology to Box as new. So that's a quick hit. So many more things we could go over. Maybe we'll do a series on this topic if it is deemed useful. But if you have any questions, please reach out and let us know. Thank you.